conduct this webinar. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Please, if we could have some words from you.
I'm really thankful to be invited to this webinar organized by Mr. Devang Singh. He is very sincere and hardworking young man who want to do a lot in the legal profession. I am also thankful to other participants of this webinar who want to know what is happening about the coronavirus, which was projected, made by China. When I've seen we have very cordial relationship with China, the delegation of International Council of Jurists was invited by Supreme Court, which is called Supreme People's Court. Chief Justice of Supreme People's Court invited our delegation under my leadership, which consisted the sitting judges from the Supreme Court of India, sitting judge of Supreme Court of Maldives, Sri Lanka, and other bar leaders from other countries. But when I've seen, we had talks with the Chief Justices of the Supreme People's Court, leaders of bar in Beijing, in Shanghai, other provincial courts. But when I've seen that this virus has been made, specially made to ruin the people of the world and also the economy, and with ulterior motive of becoming the economic leader of the world, China has played this mischief when they came to know in December itself, although there are reports that their scientists were working in not only in China, in Wuhan, other countries also, they were working with other scientists who on this project that how to make such type of virus. Now, reports from Canada, reports from UK, US government also arrested some scientists. So now it is very clear that it was manufactured. And after manufacturing, after intentionally putting to Chinese people in Wuhan, so why they put in them? So that people of the world can see that this virus is very injurious. People are dying. There is no treatment. Then the business houses in China who are from other countries, they will sell their business at a very cheap. They sent their people, the Chinese people, to foreign countries. They concealed this fact to WHO and other countries, which they were legally bound to inform under international rules. So they have violated those guidelines, and intentionally concealed guidelines are that within 24 hours, if you come to know that such virus has affected the human being, which is can go from one person to another. So it is the duty of the government, duty of the officers who have come to know to inform the world. So they have not December. They found on 1st December 2019, but they have not informed. On 31st December, so many people, Chinese people, they celebrated New Year's Day. More than 150,000 Chinese traveled from Wuhan to other countries. They were infected people. This was not informed that this is a virus which can go from one person to another. So other countries have not stopped them. Then a false propaganda was made that if somebody is having fever, it means there is a possibility of having corona. So world, when they were entering, people coming from China, at the airport, different immigration authorities, health authorities of those countries, they started checking the temperature. And whoever is not having temperature, they allowed them to enter their country. Those people intentionally moved with people. That's why this thing has been throughout the world. And then the message was given that when summer will come, if there will be temperature more than 35, this coronavirus will die. Those all informations were actually false. They have for the first time of 14th February 2020 admitted that this is a coronavirus which moved from person to person. Earlier, they have not acknowledged, they have not allowed the US agencies to make inquiry. They have not allowed even WHO. They've given false report to the World Health Organization. So when so many people were affected, the total business was affected. There was lockdown throughout the world. So our members of International Council of Jurists suggested me that I should take up this issue with UNO. So UNO is in UNO, China is having veto power. So we have only one option because this is a violation of human rights. There is a provision of Article 25(1) Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which says you can't conceal, you can't withhold, you can't censor, you can't misrepresent about health information. So they have violated. There is a United Nations Human Rights Council. So on 3rd of April, I, on behalf of myself, on behalf of International Council of Jurists, on behalf of All India Bar Association, filed complaint before this council. So now we are, because we were having short time, we gathered further information and we are going to file in 1 or 2 days amended complaint before United Nations Human Rights Council. Chinese government through their embassy in India, they approached me immediately. When they came to know, on 3rd I sent this, 3rd of April. On 5th of April, which is Sunday, I received email from political counselor of China in New Delhi that they want to brief me about this. First, they inquired whether this is correct, that whether you have made the complaint before United Nations Human Rights Council. I told yes, you have heard correctly. So they told kindly grant us time. We want to brief you the point of Chinese government. I told when we have given written complaint, if, if you will orally brief me, that will be of no use. So kindly send me your written briefing so that we can discuss with my other all concerned. So he told, okay, sir, kindly provide me the complaint. He sent me copy of, he sent me email requesting me to forward the copy of the complaint. In response to his email, I forwarded the copy of the complaint. This report, this is the first complaint to United Nations. There are other cases in USA also. Complaint has been filed. Case has been filed, but that is filed in USA only. Other people have also filed, they have filed there only. One our Indian lawyer also filed one complaint, but he filed before India International Court of Justice, which no individual can file. Only the states can file. So now one person day before yesterday filed one petition before Honorable Supreme Court of India that as you know, no international court of justice can't accept individual complaint. So government of India should file a complaint before international court of justice. So direction should be made, but that will be court will not interfere because court can't direct government of India. It is the sweet will of government of India. And I know you too, because the Chinese embassy were also impressing upon me that this will, if you will continue with your complaint, this will affect the good relations between India and China. I told I fully agree this thing, but I am not representing government of India. This complaint is not, this is a complaint by International Council of Jurists, by All India Bar Association. We are not the government. I am not the government. So this should not affect. Then they approach Government of India, Ministry of External Affairs also that they should persuade Dr. Adishi Agarwala to withdraw this complaint. But I'm happy that Ministry of External Affairs clearly told them that they don't have control over me. And but this is not the view of Government of India. They have not expressed what is their view. So Chinese government embassy also informed the press. So this thing has happened. Now I'm receiving so many representations from different parts of the world, from bar associations, bar councils, retired judges, that Dr. Agarwal, your international constitution is a very right step because this is economy. People are dying who have not committed anything wrong. They are dying. So you have done right thing that this thing should be, they should be taught lesson. So now we are filing revised petition. Now I think by tomorrow I am also going to file one petition to Prime Minister of India requesting him to issue ordinance because at this moment state immunity is there. No citizen of India can file a suit for any tort, any damages against China. Not only China, any country, foreign country, government of foreign country. Because under section 86 of CPC, there is a provision, there is a bar that nobody can file a foreign government, a case against foreign government in India. So I'm making it a fervent request, and that is a very detailed letter, representation I'm making to the Prime Minister of India. Why? Because that thing was not this and amend, not in parliament initially, bring ordinance. Because government of India has amended different acts by bringing ordinance. Because people of India, not only the lawyers, I've been approached by business houses that how much they have lost. Rich people are today in a difficulty. Our not what to speak of our labor. Everyone is in difficulty. We are living in a fear when this corona will affect us. Rich or poor, educated or illiterate, everyone is very much living a painful life. So once this will be amended, this CPC, thousands of cases for tort will be filed in Indian courts against China. This is my line of action. We are very much confident that we will win the case. We will be coronavirus Wuhan laboratory, and it was intentionally leaked, and it was intentionally not informed to the world and WHO, so that this virus spread throughout the world. We have reports, we have intelligence reports of different countries. Daily stories are coming. Everything we will be calling the witness when this inquiry will start. We will be requesting this council, United Nations Human Rights Council, that in inquiry committee, our representatives should be also included, because in this United Nations Human Rights Council, one Chinese member is also there. In affect the inquiry. So America is working very hard. They have traced so many information, although they were not allowed. China purchased these kits from other countries well in advance, because they know they have prepared it, they are going to leak it. People will require throughout the world at very costly, very cheap rate. They imported these PP and they exporting at a very cost. So Chinese companies have purchased foreign companies, not only China, but in USA. So situation is very grave. We require the support of all young people, intellectuals, to help me in dealing with this case at United.
That's your
If
humble.
somebody has any question,
Yes, sir. The
I
questions
will
have.
be happy.
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt, sir. So the question is asked that you said China and WHO. Even if China has done such a uh, grave act against the against the humans mostly, and a biological weapon has been developed, as you rightly mentioned in your petition, why is China being supported or backed by WHO if they have concealed this fact?
This is correct that they have also little role, because they can't forcefully, one thing I may clarify, they can't forcefully enter their research institute. Once they permit only, then they have been, WHO has been not permitted. They were not given information. They can't forcefully, and the problem with us, we can't annoy WHO also. The true fact is, I know if we wanted, we could have involved them. But that is a voluntary organization in which many countries are member and they are supporting. by making them a party. We can't get anything. So we should not file a case against a person who is bankrupt. What is the utility? China has money. China will be isolated. And I am telling you, once our petition will be accepted, this will, a report will go by United Nations Human Rights Council to Security Council. That time, China will decline to accept this verdict. And what will happen? China will leave United Nations. This is the work. This is not a binding. These council, tribunals of UNO, decisions of UNO, nobody can compel this. If they say no, we have no force to get it implemented. But once he will leave, China will leave United Nations, India will get the opportunity to be member of Security Council. So it was only China who was opposed the entry of India in security. Then we will be through United Nations, we means India will be controlling the affairs.
Yes, sir.
We may not get the countries. I asked they pay damages to me. We requested that they should order payment of reparation to countries who are affected. But when we will be filing a suit for recovery of damages, debts of damage suit will be filed once this government of India amends this section 86 of CPC. So because every lawyer, so many lawyers, 20 lakh lawyers have lost their are daily wages. They are earning daily and spending daily. So courts are closed. Everybody is affected. So many. There will be unlimited. But China has earned. It will lose many fold. Yes. Any other question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One more question is coming by Miss Asma Tunisa. I shall unmute you and you can ask your question directly, Miss. Miss Asma?
Hello.
Hello?
He is not there. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you for the thought-provoking lecture, sir, first of all, because I was following you from past 5:25 itself. Due to technical problem, amidst that, you were able to tell us what has actually happened, why are we suffering, etc. My question to you is, sir, China has grossly violated not only the human rights of India, but also the other parts. Entire world is affected. Can't China be made
Yes.
liable?
Yes. In my petition, there is a China has violated Article 25(1) of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. As I told, this is everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care. Medical care is the relevant and necessary social service and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness is also relevant here, disability and widowhood. So by their this spreading or concealing, because everybody has, if they would have informed in time, then nobody would have, no other country would have allowed these people to come to their country. So due to their coming, traveling to other countries, this has spread. So people have become sick. So this was a right. This is a violation of rights of everyone. So then they are duty bound. So this is one aspect. Then China has violated Article 12 of International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. That is, the state parties to the present covenant recognize the right of everyone to the enjoyment of highest attainable standard of physical and mental health. So this is this violation. And this is subsection 2 says the steps to be taken by the state parties to the present covenant to achieve the full realization of this right shall include those necessary for, there are A and B is there, C and D is relevant, the prevention, treatment and control of epidemic, endemic, occupational and other disease. This they have violated. D is also there, the creation of conditions which would assure to all medical service and medical attention in the event of sickness. Because they have not informed, people become sick, no medicine could be prepared. If they would have informed early, then things could have been controlled. Then there are international health regulation, IHR. International health or regulations incorporated by WHO. The paragraph 4 is the Article 4, paragraph 1 of IHR state, each state party shall designate and establish a national IHR focal point and the authorities responsible within its respective jurisdiction for the implementation of health measures under these regulations. So China is not informed to this authority. In every country, there is a focal point, national IHR focal point. They should inform immediately if such thing happens. So they should inform, which they have not informed. They informed only on 14th of February. Although on 1st December, first case of Dr. Lee, first patient, patient was found, and but they declined to accept that this is a transferable. So the Article 6 also there. Article 9 also they have violated. Then China violated Article 679. I've already told you. Then China also illegal. China is legally liable for, because on international level there is a provision, there is an act that if somebody is responsible for their act, then they will be liable to pay to foreign countries.
We cannot hear, sir. Sir, I think we are running out of time here. So, having technical difficulties. The session is about to end, sir. Sir, I think sir got disconnected. Thank you everyone for joining in. Do follow us on our Facebook page for the coming webinars. And thank you so much, everyone. And this is Devang Singh signing off. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for joining in. So we are running out of time. We have got only 40 seconds left. Thank you so much, sir. For
And,
sir, we are running out of.
okay, I'm all thankful. Yeah.
Thank you so much for gracing us.
Thank you very much to everyone. There was some technical problem. Thank you very much to. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for gracing us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Okay. Oh, thanks.